how are equivalence partitioning and boundary value analysis related?
And agile
or
normal?
Generally, normal. Yeah, normal.
Yeah. So these are the testing techniques where basically we focus on input domain. When if there is a text field or a text field that has a title of age, so between age and you can apply age for the 18 to 30. So for the boundary value analysis, what the tester will do, the check only 6 parameters that will cover all the scenarios, all the possible combinations. So for the 18 to 30, the combination of the input will be the first on the boundary, 18 and 30, that this is valid. And again, 18 plus 1 is minimum 1 plus 1, you can say. So 19 he'll check. Then that is also valid. Again, he will go for the I can 30 minus 1, maximum minus 1. So 29 he will check. So it is again valid. These are the valid scenarios. For the invalid scenarios, there will be 2 parameters, minimum minus 1 and maximum plus 1. So on the 17, he will check. If it is not giving the giving error message, then it is totally fine. And the same thing, he will check with the 31. So on boundary value analysis, mostly we are focusing on the range of the inputs. Yeah. But in the equivalence class partition, we are mainly focusing on the value of the inputs. So for the equivalence class partition, if I'll take the same example, so what the tester will do, or what I will do, or what we will do is, like, we'll create 3 classes, 2 for invalid and 1 is for valid. So in that, the range will be 18 to 30 is the valid range, and less than 18, or you can say equal to 17, is invalid, and the same less than or less than, greater than or equal to 30 is for invalid.
Right.
So that's it.
Yeah. So greater than 30, right? Greater than 30, because 30 was in the valid range, right? So 18 to 30. Yeah. Great. So I think, yeah, I don't need to add anything, because you have taken the example of the input field, and you can basically, you have taken an example, you have explained all the conditions that are possible in the boundary value analysis and equivalence class partition. So absolutely correct. And this, just to add that how important this test design technique is, that it doesn't matter where you are working or which product you are working, which domain you are working. This is, whether you know it or you don't know it, by default, you use these techniques to design your test cases. So it's better you know and you have the clear understanding, right? So absolutely fantastic that you know that where you have to use. So say, for example, I'll give you an example of a e-commerce website where you have these offers going on. So I know that what sort of test cases you will come through, right? So this is what usually interviewers look for in the candidates. So if I'm an e-commerce business and I'm hiring you as a tester, and if you know that this is how you design the test cases, so I know I'm hiring the right candidate who will be able to analyze the requirements accordingly and test the offer related module that my e-commerce business has, right? So absolutely great answer. Okay, what do you understand by TestLink, and did they explain you what TestLink is all about?
So about TestLink, we just know that about how to create the test suite inside that, and how to write the test cases. That's it.
Right.
Whatever the test planning and other things are, they said that nothing our job. That's why I don't understand the other part, but I know how to write test cases and how to execute it.
Right. Okay. That's yeah, that shouldn't, that's how, I mean, I don't recommend that they should be doing it, that it's not your job, but at least from the tool perspective, they should have given you a brief overview. So TestLink
I just know about how to write.
Yeah, that's what you will be doing initially, but then understanding. So TestLink is a test management tool which is open source, so it's free of cost available, And it's very simple. All of those test management tool will be basically similar sort of functionality. So you'll have test case repository. So you write all the test cases structure wise. You can create folders and manage all your test cases. Then you create cycles, add those test cases in test cycle and execute those. So when we say test cycle, have they explained you anything about the test cycle? Why do we create cycles, test cycles? No idea. Okay. So usually, say for example, as a team, we started building something. Okay. And after 3 weeks, there is some code that will be deployed. All right. So once that code is deployed, they version it, say for example, version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now you create a test cycle to test whatever has been implemented in that version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in that test cycle, you pull all the test cases that are relevant to that cycle and you execute, so that there is a bit of tagging, right? Otherwise, if you don't have the cycle, don't have the version, so how would you know that after 3 weeks, there is another build, okay, or another version? Right? Like in the apps, in your phone apps, you see different versions, right? So against which version did you test? So that's where these cycles help, test cycles help, so that you can track that correlation. And then there is a lot of other things that you can mention the build number in the test case when you have that cycle. So you can have build and release numbers. That's good. That's okay. This is a bit of advanced thing. You will understand that when you get into the job. That's okay.
What do you understand by API testing?
API, it stands for Application Programming Interface. It is an interface, and you have seen that any web application, they have 3 layers. First layer, so you have the presentations layer. Second is API layer, and third is the data layer. And that API layer we also call as business layer and the logical layer. We have the logic in the data layer, and they are made in like any language they are using to build that logic. And whenever, like if you see, for example, I'll keep that in API, but if you go for the login page or some Gmail, you have to log in, and you have to give the credential, like user ID and password. Whenever you enter that request goes to the first API, and that from API it will go to the database, and it is fetching the record, and that database will give to the API, and that API will give the response to the client or to the GUI. So this is API, it is working, and we need to test that API in the directly we can test in the API without GUI. So that is the advantage we have. It is the first processing we have. And also test the functionality, performance, security, all those testings we can do for the API testing. And for example, like if I can give more example on API, if you see that there are so many like websites today you have available in the market for flight booking or something, like if you go for Yatra or MakeMe. So what, like for users going for different like website and searching for the flight, so it is more timing and it is sometimes headaches for the user also. But if you go to yatra.com or MakeMyTrip or goiv.com, so they're giving like all the like ranges or all the flight details, like, and with the least price or the seat price or something. So we can book from there also. But what they're using they're using that API. So they're using API to fetch that all the flight details with that. This is easy for the customers. It is easy for like the developer and testers all those things. So API, it is how like we are using that API. This is how this is called API. I think this is my understanding.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Your understanding. I like the way you have started answering this question, that there are 3 layers. So that is very, very important point when you tackle any of these sort of questions, that you have, data layer, the service layer, and the presentation, the UI, web UI layer, right? So, and when you talk about the service, web service or API, it is the service layer that you have already explained, and you can directly test these APIs when they are developed, because it is quick to test. So quick, basically the test run very fast. And when you write the test or test through the UI, web UI, it is very, even if you automate, it's very brittle because the UI part is involved in that. So your answer is absolutely correct. Impressive the way you have started and the things that you have covered. Examples definitely that you have covered there are very, very good examples that you have given. So make sure whenever you're going for interview, take these couple of examples that you have covered here. Along with these, you can search and think of more examples so that you don't even have to go through many more questions. You know, if you give these sort of examples, I think interviewer will get impressed very quickly and they might just hire you straight away with just asking a couple of questions, right? So that's really good answer there. And I do not need to add anything more there because with 2+ years experience, I do not expect anything more when I ask what is API testing from you. Okay, so that's absolutely fantastic. You have given me 2 examples along with the clear differentiation there. Okay, how do you do data-driven testing using TestNG? What is the annotation?
Well, you have a couple of options to begin with. You have the @parameters annotations where you can declare parameters in the TestNG XML file, and then you can use them in your test script. If you need to pass complex parameters, arrays, for example, then you have the option of using data providers, and the annotation is @data_providers, the name of the provider and the name of the class where you can find that object.
Absolutely cool. Yeah, absolutely. So data provider, it provides data provider. So lot of good features there that TestNG provides. So absolutely correct in terms of basic question, basic answer that you've given and the data-driven testing.